Welcome to Ayaz Tech. Today we are diving deep into the top 5 GitHub tips that every developer should master. We will walk through each tip step by step using real projects and demonstrating live results. Whether you are new to GitHub or looking to level up your skills, this tutorial will give you practical, immediately applicable knowledge. So let's get started. The tip number 1 is mastering Git branching. Branching is crucial for managing different features or experiments without affecting your main code base. So let's walk through the process using a real world project. First of all, I'm going to create a new GitHub repository with the name my-web-app. It can be any name. Now I'm going to create the repository by hitting the green button. Okay, the repository has been created. Now I will clone it. You can either use SSH or HTTPS, whatever works for you. I will be using SSH in my case. So in my terminal, I will use the command git clone and paste the URL that you just copied earlier. So press enter and it will clone that empty repository in this folder. Once that is done, go to that folder by using the cd command and open it in your editor. I will be using VS Code. Now, first of all, I will create a new file index.js and add any text here. Hello world, save it. And now we need to create a commit message and push it. So for that, in the root directory of your project in the terminal, type the command git add to put it in the staging area, and now use the git commit -m files and now push it. So this command git add dash basically adds all of the changed files or all of the changes to the staging area, and git commit -m files will basically create a commit with this specific message. Now we need to push it to the GitHub. For that, use the command git push origin main. So main is the name of the branch that would be created on the GitHub. So go back to the GitHub, and once it is pushed, you will see that code and the branch main. I reloaded and you can see this file has been created and it is available on the main branch. You can also check your existing branch by looking at the bottom left side of your VS Code. Here it is saying you are currently on the main branch. Or you can run another command git branch that will tell you that on which branch you are currently on. It is showing the asterisk and the green color on the branch name that is currently active. Okay, let's close it. And now let's create a new branch for a login feature. For that, type the command git checkout -b and the branch name that you want to create. Press enter. It will create and switch to that new branch feature -login. To make sure, look at the bottom left side of your VS Code. It is saying that feature -login is currently active. And to double check, you can also use git branch command in the terminal. Here you will see all of the branches, and the currently active branch will show the asterisk along with the green text color. Okay. Now let's make some changes to your code. For example, I'm going to create a new file login.js, and within that I will add some code function login, and here I will add the console log with some text saying login function. That's it. Now let's stage and commit these changes. For that, this time I will be using the GitHub tool. On the left side, you can see this source control icon with one change detected. If you click on that, it will show you all of the changes under the changes section, and you can see only one file has been changed so far. Click on the plus icon. It will move your changes to the staging area, and from this input you have to specify the commit message. I can use the text add initial login function and hit the commit button. Now you can either click on this button or click on this button. It will publish the branch and upload all of the changes to the remote GitHub repository. So here, if you reload it, you should see this notification about your recently pushed branch with an option to compare and pull requests. When you're ready to merge, create a pull request review the changes, and merge into the main branch. By following these steps, you have successfully created a branch and made changes and prepared it for the review and merging. Now let's move on to the tip number 2. Leveraging GitHub Actions for CI/CD. Let's set up a GitHub action that runs tests on every push using a real Node.js project as an example. So in your project directory, let's create a new directory structure for the GitHub action. For now, I'm going to switch back to my main branch, and here I will create a new folder .github, and within that folder we need another folder workflows. Within this folder we can put as many workflows as we want to. For now we need only one workflow, ci.yml. Okay, now in this file let's add our basic code. So this is the basic code of my workflow. I have given it the name Node.js CLI, and I have added this event that on every push we want to run all of these jobs. Currently there is only one job with the name build, and it will be using the Ubuntu latest image, and these are all of the steps that would be executed every time we make a push. So in the first step, it will be using this GitHub action checkout, and then we are giving a name to this step, use Node.js, and we are using this action this time, actions/setup-node, and here we are specifying the version of Node.js. I would like to use the same version that I am using in my current environment, local environment. So for that we will run the command node -- version that will give me the version that we would like to use. Copy this version and paste it here. It will make sure that it would prepare this in Node.js version in the workflow environment. Okay, and then it will run both of these commands or scripts, npm ci and npm test. So with these commands, it will assume that both of these scripts are available in our package.json, but currently we did not create any package.json file yet. So for that we have to create the package.json file and add both of these missing scripts. We will also prepare our simple testing workflow or process. In the root directory of your project, run the command npm init-y. This will initialize the package.json file with the default values for every property of this object. And now we need to add a simple test to our project. So for that, first of all, install the just as the development dependency. So press Ctrl and backtick, it will open the terminal, or you can manually open the terminal by clicking on the terminal and click on the new terminal. Okay, and here we will run the command npm install save dev jest. Press enter. It will install the dev dependency and save it in the package.json. Meanwhile, we can create a new file in the root directory with the name sum.js, and here I will add a function sum a comma b, and here we will return a plus b. Okay, now we need to export dot, actually it should be module dot exports is equal to sum. Save it. And also you can notice that our jest package has been installed. We got a package lock and node modules folder, but with that the Git is now detecting too many changes. As you can see, it is saying that 4,000 plus changes have been detected, but we never made those changes. So we must have to ignore node modules in the Git history. For that, you have to create a new file .git ignore, and within that you have to pass the name of the files or folders that you would like to ignore from the GitHub repository or Git repository. So the name of the folder is node_modules. Save it. As soon as you save it, in the VS Code on the left side, you would notice that all of the 4,000 plus changes have been removed, and now it is detecting only few files, 5 files. Okay, now let's create a test file with the name sum.test.js. So let's do that, sum.test.js. and within that I will create a constant sum is equal to, here we will import the sum.js file by using require function, and we have saved the response of that file in the sum constant. Now we will call the test function that will definitely expect two parameters. First one would be the description of this test, and second one would be the callback function. Within that we will call the expect function, and we will pass the function sum that we exported from the sum file, and we are expecting that the plus or sum of these two numbers should be 3. If that function returns 3, then that's mean our function logic is working correctly and we can consider it a passed test. Now save it, and now let's go to the package.json file, and I'm going to remove this script and we will add two scripts from scratch. First script would be test with the command jest, and second script would be ci, and we will give it the value npm ci and npm test. Save it. Now let's test our setup locally first to make sure everything works correctly here, then we will test it on GitHub action. Okay, now run the command npm run ci, press enter. So after waiting for some time, you should see the output indicating that just ran your test and it passed. If everything works locally, we can set up our GitHub action. So we already have set up our GitHub action, so we can just proceed from where we left. Let's stage our changes by clicking on the plus button in the VS Code, or you can manually type the command in the terminal. And here I will specify the commit message. That can be anything, add test and GitHub Actions workflow. Click on the commit button and hit the sync changes. It will push your changes. It may also pull the changes if there are any new commits are available on your remote GitHub repository. Now go to your GitHub repository, go to the home page and click on the Actions tab and reload it. Okay, here you should see your workflow running. Click on it to see the details. Watch the workflow progress through each step. You can expand each step to see its logs. So for example, these are all of the steps. So you can expand them in this way. So you would see that green icon is visible. So if you test pass, you will see this green check mark. If they fail, you will see a red X, and you can investigate the logs to see what went wrong. To trigger the workflow again, make change to your code, commit and push. You will see a new workflow run start automatically. So let me show you here. In the sum.jest test.js, I will make a change. Like here I will change the numbers. 1 plus 7 should be equal to 8. Similarly here as well, 1 plus 7 should be equal to 8. Save it. And now if you want to test it locally first, you can just run the command npm run ci, and you will see all of the tests are passed. There is no failure, and it took this amount of time. And now let's push our changes to the GitHub. I have generated a commit message. Click on the commit and sync the changes to push it online. Alright, now let's go to the Actions tab again, and you would notice a new run workflow has been started. Click on the build. This is your job that we created here. The name of the job is build, and these are all of the steps. It is running the tests once again, and you can see it has passed once again. Now let's move on to the tip number 3. Use GitHub Issues for project management. So let's create a structured issue for a new feature, then use it to track the progress. So go to your GitHub repository, click on the Issues tab, and here click on the New Issue button, and in the title field enter the appropriate title for your issue. I would use implement user authentication system, and in the description you can provide the proper description in properly formatted way, and you can use all of these tools, like you can create headings, bold, links, you can add the bullet lists, numbered list, unordered list. You can also create the list of the tasks as well. like this. So every time you will add a task, it will create a markdown for you, and it will let you see the preview as well in this way. Let me remove everything. So I have prepared this markdown. So you can see this is the heading, this is the description, these are the tasks, and these are the acceptance criteria, and these are the related PRs. So if you click on the preview button, you will see all of these things applied and looking very nice. If these PRs are real, then you may be able to click on these PRs as well. These can be converted into the links automatically. Anyways, now let's hit the submit new issue button. So if you click on the issues, you will see all of the issues, and this is the first issue that we just created, and here you will see the number of tasks. We have created 5 tasks in it. If you click on the task, you will see the detail of all of your tasks here, and these are all of the tasks. You can drag and drop them to change their order as well, and every time you do that, it will be updated automatically and will be preserved. So for example, you want to move it on the top, just leave it. If you reload it, you will see that the order is preserved, and you can also change the status of the task by clicking on the check marks. It will keep updating the status of the task. So you can see clearly that 3 tasks are completed out of the 5 tasks. Also on the top, you will see the number of the tasks and also number of the tasks that are completed so far. And this is, you will also notice this nice progress circular that will show you the progress of your tasks. Further, here you can add comments to provide updates or ask questions. You can use this assignees panel on the right to assign the issue to the team members. You can click on this gear icon. Here you will see the list of all of the people that are available that you can use to assign. You can also click on it to assign it to yourself as well. Further, you can use these labels panel to categorize the issue. For example, feature or backend. If you click on that, you can click on any of these existing labels, or you can create new labels as well that doesn't exist yet. For example, click on the edit labels. Here you can create a new label as well, or you can rename the existing labels. So I guess you should be able to create new from here as well. So if you type a label that doesn't exist yet, for example, feature label doesn't exist yet, so you will see this option, create a new label. This is shortcut. You can create it directly from here as well. So it will ask you the label name and description, and you can provide a specific color code, or you can randomly generate a new color. Every time it will randomly generate a new color that you can keep. Okay, great. Click on the save button and the label has been created. So if you select, you will see the multiple labels in the labels section. When all tasks are completed and acceptance criteria met, you can close the issue. You will find the close issue button on the bottom of this page. Click on that. There are 2 options, close as completed or close as not planned. So I will just click on the close issue to select the default option. With that, you will notice this message saying this person closed this as completed now. Okay. And if you go back to the issues tab, you will notice that issues have been disappeared from this list, and you will notice this area that is showing that one closed. If you click on that, you will see all of the closed issues here. Now let's move on to the tip number 4, that is utilize GitHub's code review features. Let's walk through a real code review process. So start by creating a new pull request. Go to your GitHub repository main page and click on the pull request from here. Or you would also notice this notification as well that is telling you that you created this branch that time ago, and you have an option to compare and pull request. If you click on that, it will take you to the page. Here it will automatically select the branch on the right side and branch on the left side. Otherwise, if you go to the pull request and click on the new pull request, you may have to manually select the branches on the left and right side. So it is convenient if you select from here. So once you are satisfied from both of these selections, add an appropriate title and add some description. that you want to add and click on the create pull request. So this will create the PR for you. As a reviewer, go to the pull requests tab again and select the PR to review and click on the files changed tab to see all of the changes. To comment on specific lines, hover on the line number and click on the blue plus button that appears on hover. Here you will type the comment that you want to type, hello world, and you can click on the add single comment. This will add that comment at that specific place. You can add a comment here as well, hello again, and click on the add single comment. So in this way you can see the comments on any line at that place while you are scrolling on that code. To suggest changes, just hover on the line where you want to suggest the change and click on the plus icon again, and here click on the suggestion icon. It looks like a page with the plus icon. Click on that, and here you can specify the code that you want to add. For example, I want to define a new variable or constant, hello is equal to world. Okay, so I suggested this change, and now click on the add single comment. So you can see that this suggestion has been appeared here in the form of code suggestion. To apply a suggestion, if you are the PR author, you will see a commit suggestion button here. So if you click on that, a pop-up will appear with the form where you can specify the commit title and the description. So if you click on the commit changes, it will apply the changes. When you are done reviewing, go to the files changed tab again and click the review changes button and select the approve if it's ready to merge, or click on the request changes if updates are needed. As I have created this PR and I am the author and I am the reviewer, so it is saying that pull request authors can't approve their own pull requests. So if there are multiple persons involved, then these two options would be enabled as well. Okay, here you can leave your comment and click on the submit review. Now as the PR author, you can now see the review, make any requested changes and push them to automatically update the PR. Once approved, you can merge the PR by clicking the merge pull requests here, and it will ask you to confirm the merge. Click on that. This process ensures code quality and knowledge sharing across your team. Now let's move on to the final and last tip, number 5. Enhance your GitHub profile. Let's create a standout GitHub profile README. So go to your GitHub account and click on this button and click on the new repository, and here type the exactly same name as your GitHub username. Your GitHub username can be found here. If you click on this, this is your GitHub username. Copy that name and paste it here, or you can find the username here as well. Okay, just paste it here, and if the username and repository name is same, you would immediately see this special message that is telling you that this is a special repository that you can use to add a readme.md to your GitHub profile. Make sure it is public and initialize it with a readme to get started. Okay, so if you see this message, then that's mean you are going towards the right direction. Make sure it is public and make sure to select the add a readme file. Click on the create repository. Now once it is created, click on this button and copy the URL that you want to use to clone. You can use the HTTPS or SSH, whatever works for you, and go to the terminal, go to the directory where you want to clone it. So use the git clone and paste the URL that you want to use. Okay, now press enter. It will let you to clone the repository. By the way, right now there is simple text hi there. If you open the profile, you will see this text there. Click on your profile and you can see that text or content is coming from there. Okay, now let's go to this project that we just cloned. Let me copy the name, cd, and open it in your editor. I'm using VS Code again, and this is the readme.md file. I already have prepared a basic template, so I will paste it here If you want to preview this markdown, and if you're using Mac, just press Command Shift V. It will show you the preview of this README. Okay, this is how it will look when you will publish it. So let's stage our changes and push them to the GitHub. Commit and sync the changes. Okay, so wait for some time. After it is uploaded, we will reload our profile page and we should see all of these changes. All right, it is pushed. If you reload it, you will see that change here. And now let me reload my profile page and you should see all of those changes here. These are looking really nice. Here you can place your name. This is section for the about me. You can customize it to make it to look better. To automate the latest blog post section that you can see here, we need to create a new file. So go back to your project in the VS Code and in the root directory, create a new file with the name workflows / actually it should start from the GitHub folder, then workflows folder, then give the name of the file that you want to create. I want to create a file with the name blog-post-workflow.yml. So the name of the file can be anything. Now let's add the content in this file. So I just pasted this content. This is the name of the workflow, latest blog post. This is the schedule in the on section. This will run a cron job that will run it after every hour. So these are the jobs. Currently there is only one job that will run, update readme with blog. It can be any name. You can use any name. It doesn't matter. And here you can add a name of the job. Further, you can customize it this as well. And this is the name of the image that you want to use to run these steps on. And these are all of the steps that will be executed. So it will be using this action first. After this action is executed, it will use this action. So this is a custom action. So if you search it on Google, you will find this is created by someone and you can open this GitHub repository. And here you will find the entire documentation, and this is how it is going to look like. It will dynamically load all of the latest articles or blog posts. Okay, now here you can specify the feed list, like from where you would like to fetch the posts. For now, I would like to use only one source, that is Medium. Here you would have to specify the username. By the way, if you want to see the list of all of the possible popular sources, this is the link. If you click on that, it will take you to this area. And if you click on this, it will show you some popular blogging platforms and their RSS feed URLs. So you can see these are so many. So it is possible that you will be able to find your desired feed. For example, if you have a YouTube channel, you can target a YouTube playlist, or if you have a YouTube channel video list, you can use that as well. For example, you just have to pass the channel ID. It will automatically show the list of the videos from your YouTube. So this is really helpful. Actually, I am also trying it for the first time in front of you. So it is exciting for me as well. So let's try it. So go to the medium.com and here I would add my username. But for that, before let's actually, I think this is how we will put the username /Ayazafar. Okay, this is the right username, so I can use it. Ayazafar. Save it. If you open it, you will see the feed. This is the URL of the feed, and you will see all of the latest articles from my username. Okay, great. Now let's commit our changes. Click on the plus button, add the commit message, and hit the commit and upload your changes. Click on the OK. So this workflow will now automatically update your README with your latest blog posts. Let's go to the GitHub repository that we created and click on the Actions tab. After it is uploaded, if you reload it again, you will notice that workflow should be appeared. If there is something wrong, it will not appear. I don't see. Actually, this is the workflow, latest blog post workflow. This is the name that we given here. If you click on that, it is still saying that this workflow has a workflow dispatch. So whenever you will push your changes, it will not execute it immediately. It will run on specific event, like it will be executed every hour like this. So 1 hour did not pass yet, so you can manually run the workflow. So click on the run workflow, select the branch. Obviously we are on the main branch that we would like to use. Click on the run workflow. So after clicking on the run workflow, you would see this message that it has been started. If you click on that, you will see the progress. I see an error message, something has happened, it did not work. So let's see what's wrong here. If you click on that, it will show you more details. We have some permission issue. We did not read this documentation yet. If you scroll down, you will see the instruction. It is saying that you have to go to the repository setting, click on the actions general section, then update the workflow permission to read and write the permissions, and click on the save button. So this is a screenshot. So let's do that. Here in the repository, go to the settings, and in the general, search for the actions. So this is the action section. Click on that, click on the general, and here you can see the permissions section. And as it says, we have to click on the read and write permissions under workflow permissions. So this is a workflow permission section. Here click on the read and write permission. Earlier we had only read repository contents permission, that's why it was not working. And we have to select this checkbox as well. So make sure to click on this and hit the save button. Okay, now go back to the actions section and hit this workflow and click on the run workflow and click on this button to start it again. Okay, you would see a new workflow process would appear shortly here. You can reload it as well. Okay, you can see that workflow was started and it was completed successfully without any failure this time, and this time there is a green tick icon. Now let's go to the public GitHub profile, and earlier you can see there were no blog posts. Now if you reload it, you can see that all of the latest blog posts from my Medium account are appeared here. So if you click on that, you would notice it will take you to that specific article on the Medium. Okay, in this way you can use other sources as well. Alright, we have walked through 5 powerful GitHub tips providing hands-on step-by-step guidance for each. First one was mastering Git branching for better code management. Second one was leveraging GitHub Actions for automated CI/CD. Third one was using GitHub Issues for effective project management. Fourth one was utilizing code review features for quality assurance. And finally, the last one was enhancing your GitHub profile to showcase your skills. By implementing these tips in your daily workflow, you will become a more efficient and collaborative developer. Remember, practice is key to mastering these techniques. Thanks for watching this Ayaz Tech tutorial. If you found it helpful, then don't forget to like, subscribe and share this video, and hit the bell icon to get notified for my upcoming videos. Also, if you have any questions or feedback or suggestions, then please feel free to leave them in the comments section below. I would be happy to reply them as soon as possible. Happy coding and see you in the next video. Goodbye.